What's up, family? Hello and welcome again to the Stouting Off podcast, where we spout off commentary on the everyday. Hello and welcome again to the Stouting Off podcast. I am your host, now and forevermore. Drew Stoutenberg is the name of me. Joined in studio by my producer, Jordan. Jordan, I got a question for you. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Oh my gosh, it's just nice to have you here. It's a pleasure as always. When I took that little sip of bourbon during my intro music there, just noticed I have a canker sore on my tongue. Started burning.
No kidding.
Doesn't feel good. I get a canker sore probably once every 6 weeks. So it's not super often, but it's also somewhat regular, you know?
Yeah.
You ever get them?
Sometimes.
Canker sores for me can happen if I bite my tongue or a cheek or get poked somewhere.
Yep.
Or it can just happen out of nowhere. Or it can be related to like diet. Like if I'm having too much like acidic stuff.
Sure.
Maybe too much citrus or too much, you know.
Monica gets them if she eats pineapple.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a high acidity food. Yeah. Look up the acidity of pineapple. I'm curious. I'm going to venture a guess that it's got a pH of 5.5.
3 and 4.
3 to 4. Okay, so it's pretty acidic, and that supports our hypothesis. I was about to say confirm, but you don't say that in the science world. It doesn't confirm or prove. It supports the hypothesis. Do you know that?
I didn't know that. Now I do.
Yeah, and then several hypotheses supported over time, or if the same hypothesis is supported over time by repeated experiment, then at that point it becomes a theory. It's hard to be a theory, though. It's not a theory isn't a guess. You know, it's not just like we talk about it casually in life. I have a theory that this is the reason that this does this. But in the science world, a theory is really
they take it seriously.
They take it seriously. They take it seriously. That was incredibly stupid, and so that's great. But I enjoyed it, and so did Jordan. And I was about to say that's all that matters, but no, it matters if you, the listener, what matters. That's our chief concern is what matters to you. So. Without further ado, actually, I did want to make a comment. I don't know if you noticed this, Jordan. The studio was looking nice when you walked in here, but 2 hours before you got here today, I came back inside I was in the drum shed playing around, and when I came back inside, I realized I left the Roomba running about the house, like while I was out. I came in here, and dude, like the mic stands were all like tipped over. The lighting rig was on the ground. My headphone cable was literally wrapped in the rotor or in like the spool.
No kidding.
Yeah. I was cheesed off, man. And the reason I knew about that was I was out there and I got a notification on my phone. Roomba is stuck. I'm like, great. So I didn't, sometimes it gets stuck on like an air vent or something. Yeah. Harmless. Yeah. Not expensive audio gear.
Right.
So I came in here and I saw that, and it looked like the scene, like it looked like a scene from like the movie 2012, which is like this apocalyptic movie known for its like special effects and like how they made destruction. Like they made a tremendous amount of destruction appear, in the movie. That's what this room felt like.
Was it about like I've never seen it. So was it about like what people expected 2012 to be? Yeah, so like it
had to do, I believe, with the Mayan calendar and how the Mayans. In fact, if you want to IMDb and just look up the synopsis, but I believe the Mayans predicted that the world was going to end in the year 2012.
Yeah,
almost said 2020, which would we be that surprised? No. And do I continue to stammer? Yes. And so I'm going to try to address that going forward. But yeah, did I stumble on a couple words there? I sure did, and I noticed that.
Yeah.
What's that saying?
I haven't found anything yet.
Movie 2012 synopsis.
Yeah, we're going to find it.
Cool. But I will say the Roomba has changed my life, though. It's been a great thing. In fact, I'll run it once or twice a week, and you don't even realize how much dust is laying around a house until you start a vacuum. Just like, I guess, let it run its course and just see what it picks up. Maybe it'll pick up some dirt and stuff. After like 20 minutes, it's like empty the bin, and I empty just tons of dust. You should get a Roomba or a robot vacuum.
I've always wanted one.
I can't believe you guys don't have one.
Yeah, we don't have one.
For all the, having kids around, like crumbs are inevitable,
for sure.
It could save you some.
I've got a Dyson, man.
Oh, true.
And I love the Dyson. I love the Dyson.
I've used your thing. Yeah, that's like your vacuum is like a Jetsons vacuum. It's like from the future still, you know?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, Dyson, they know what's up. I love their, like, they have some really cool, like, the Airblade fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
I don't love the public hand dryers where you do this number.
Right.
And then you pull your...
Wait, why don't you like that?
Because people put their dirty hands in there and you have to do this balancing. It's almost like you're playing the game Operation. Wow. We're clicking, and that feels good. It's like you're playing Operation. You can't touch either side.
Right.
You've got like a 1-inch margin.
And the wind's blowing. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
2012 is saying world leaders begin secret preparations for the survival of select members of society when the global cataclysm?
I don't know that word.
Finally occurs. Failed writer Jackson Curtis tries to lead his family to safety as the world starts falling apart. Gotta watch it.
And I gotta find that word as well. And so that's what this room felt like. That's what the studio felt like when I walked into it a couple hours ago. Love the Roomba, though. For all the negatives that I might say about it over the course of this podcast, it's a blessing far more than it's a curse.
Yeah, that's good. I need to try.
Worthwhile investment for sure. Did you notice my shirt, Jordan?
I did.
So this is a clothing brand, Prodigal, and they released a couple of collections just this summer. One is called Surf, and I think one's called Friends and Family. But when I moved to Nashville, I met one of the most creative people I've ever met. His name's Alex McKee. And yeah, just a creative guy. His style is on point. Just, really solid, engaging. And I was just like, this guy's a winner. So we became friends. And pretty shortly after, he started a clothing line called Prodigal. And yeah, he started it here in Nashville. And he has since moved his HQ to Orlando, Florida, which, love Orlando. Love the theme parks. In fact, Universal right now, Universal Studios, if you buy 2 days of admission, you get 2 days free.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it's still probably a tremendous amount of money. Anyway, Alex, you should check that out. You probably already know about it. You probably hold a season pass. Anyway, Alex is now in Orlando, Florida. And yeah, he's operating this really creative boutique clothing company called Prodigal. And they have sick designs and it's all affordable stuff. So high quality, good value. And I really believe in Alex and his team. So thanks, Alex, for the stuff. I will continue to wear it. And just like I have before this podcast, I have many pieces of Prodigal merch in my closet. So love you, believe in your stuff. And guys, if you haven't checked them out yet, check it out. Jordan, can you verify? I believe the link to his website is Prodigal Company. Can you look it up? Prodigal Clothing or something? It's like Prodigal Co. Verify that for me if you could. But anyway, he's on Instagram and stuff. I, yet again, had pizza for dinner today. And this time I made the wise decision of not getting pepper flakes because I was actually able to get that one out that I mentioned, I believe, in episode 2 with my Amazon dental tools. And that's not an exaggeration or a lie. I actually did that. And so, Jordan, while I was eating this pizza tonight, I realized I got cheese pizza, which I know is your go-to. Love. And so I got a cheese pizza, and I was sitting there thinking, like, yeah, so this is what I wanted to do today, and it's out of my normal routine. Usually I get pepperoni or pepperoni banana pepper. But I was like, I realized I never have to consult with anyone else what I get on my pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have like a girlfriend or a wife around where I'm like, hey babe, what do you want on your pizza? Like I only do things that I want to do. I only eat what I want to eat, and I only spend time how I want to spend time. And I got to feeling kind of like a bit like selfish, even though like I'm not accountable to anybody else right now, but I don't want to get too comfortable, like not answering to anybody, not being accountable to anybody.
You got to kind of do it while you can though,
And yeah, fair. But I was thinking about that. Like someday I'll have to do stuff that I don't want to do.
Sure.
If you can imagine that. I'll have to go to I don't even want to give examples. Like, I'll have to go see her family and stuff. Probably will have a cool family.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just I kind of came to that moment earlier.
Dude, I always thought that cheese pizza was like just for kids.
Same.
Like, oh, if you order just cheese pizza, you're 6. But
yeah, grow up.
I've come to notice that like if you get a cheese pizza, that's like I think how like pizza was intended to be had.
Really?
You know? Like for me it's like, oh, I'm an adult. I should get meat lovers with extra bacon and onions and you know, but no. I mean, cheese pizza rocks.
Yeah, no, it's true. I used to think that too, like grow up. And then yeah, actually you've kind of been a gateway, and I know you've been influenced by like say Portnoy from Barstool, right?
Yeah, true.
Big pizza guy.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I mean, he is the ultimate pizza connoisseur, and he's like a cheese guy, loyal to cheese.
Yeah. He said that's what it should be based on. Your score should be based on just cheese, bread, sauce. Isn't that cool?
I respect that because, yeah, the more stuff you add, the more you can take away from really the critical, like the sauce has to be great.
Yeah.
You have to have great sauce.
Yeah.
You have to have great dough. You have to have great cheese. Yeah. And then you can church it up with other stuff, but that's not pizza how God intended. Another thing, I'll just be like operating about my day or night, just doing whatever, and I'll think that's something I want to share on the podcast. And this is something that came to me just the other night. I've been finding that when I go to sleep at night, and I'm kind of like establishing my warm spot and where I want to be in my positioning and, how many pillows I want around that night, whatever. Everybody does that when they settle in. But when I'm settling in, I've also noticed myself starting to rub my feet together.
Yeah.
Something about that is very relaxing. It's the back of the feet. You do kind of like this number.
Yeah. I've been told I do that, and I didn't know I was doing it.
Just doing it subconsciously
like,
while you're sleeping.
Noise? Shut up. And I'm like, what?
You rubbing your hands together, just scheming. What am I going to do tomorrow?
Can't wait for stuff.
I can't wait to wake up. What? So you're doing that in your sleep? Like the feet, I mean?
It's just, it happens naturally. Like
I don't
think it's while I'm sleeping. I think it's as I'm falling asleep.
I don't know how to, I can't explain why it's so relaxing, but it is. It feels really nice.
Yeah. Leg stretcher at the same time. Like it's all happening simultaneously.
It is. There's a lot of sensation, a lot of tactile sensation happening. I want to go into our first segment again. What have I been watching? Nothing new this week, but I have been watching more of The Office, which this hat is a reference from that wonderful show. DM does GB, Dunder Mifflin does Gettysburg. It's the episode where, and have you seen this? I know you're still just kind of working your way through it.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen that episode?
Nope.
Andy is the manager. Spoiler alert. It's after Michael leaves, and he takes everybody to Gettysburg, and he's trying to like explain how like sales, paper sales is like war. It's incredibly stupid. And he's like, he gives a guided tour, and it's just like miles long. It's a hot summer day. And then, Jim has like a quote where he's like, and sales is nothing like war. And I'm also pretty sure that DM does GB means something entirely separate from what Andy intends or whatever. But anyway, I got this cool hat. After I watched that episode earlier this week, I got this sweet hat. I know it's not that sweet. It was $4, so it wasn't in too much currency on that one. But I just enjoy the hat, and I enjoy The Office. I pretty much have it running all the time. There are a couple shows I want to watch. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'm going to get back to you on that for our next segment on this. So that's all for what have I been watching. Hair's good.
Oh, yeah.
Would you tell me if it looked whack after I took a hat off?
For sure.
What should I do anything with it right now?
Give it a good swipe.
This to this way?
Yeah.
This is my natural part.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Is this good?
Yeah.
It's crazy. When I had the longer hair, I was always going left to right. Always. Always, always, always.
I'm left to right.
Yeah. But when I buzzed my hair over COVID, it started growing back. I have a clear part this way.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like a little cowlick.
Huh.
Cowlick?
It's like cowlick.
I think it is cowlick, right?
Because cowlick to say it like that.
Yeah, because colic pertains to like babies crying. Yeah, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I was colicky.
Were you?
I was vocal. Highly vocal. I should have my mom on here sometime.
They say that colicky, like, babies are just, like, very strong-willed and things like this. So maybe...
And stout-hearted.
Stout-hearted.
Yeah.
A word of the day from me.
Yeah, Jordan sent me that earlier this week. Word of the day, stout-hearted. It meant...
courageous or determined.
And if there's one person who personifies that...
Let me say it. If there's one person who personifies it, it's you.
Wow. You didn't have to say that, and yet you did, so I appreciate that.
That's true.
Weller Full Proof on the shelf right here. It's good juice. So that's what I've been watching. Oh, been getting Comcast calls like weekly for the past couple of months, and I swear their number changes. So I block one and another pops up, different area code, whatever. Comcast, because I have their Xfinity cable internet, and they'll always call me and be like, they'll catch me. I'm thinking it's somebody else, or like, I don't know. I don't, because their number keeps changing. I'll block one and then I'll pick up another call. It's from, this one's from South Carolina. See what they're saying. And it's like, hey, it's Comcast. We just want to let you know we can lower your bill. And then right there, they've got me. And so anyway, what they do is if you lock into another year of service with them, they'll lower your contract or like monthly price or whatever. And I've done that like 3 times. I've done it like 2 or 3 times. Probably 3. And so now I feel like I'm locked in with them for like 3.5 years as it stands right now. They own me.
How like
Comcast owns me.
Yeah, like what is the time frame between these calls? Like
they'll get me in on a new like promotion. They'll lower my bill by like $5 or less. And for some reason I've been foolish enough to be like, yeah, that's just for another year of like being locked in with you guys, and if I break the contract it's like $500. Yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. And then it just extends a year. So this is my life now. It's a part of me.
You're here.
I'm here. But I do try to cut costs there, I don't want to pay an exorbitant amount of money for internet.
For sure.
Especially my internet isn't even fast. I swear I have the fastest package, but it's still like, my Wi-Fi is shot for no reason. I have all really good gear too. I'm just cursed that way. I don't want to feel too bad for myself. That's crazy.
Though. Dude, Monica and I have thought about, because we have cable and internet, we have thought about getting rid of cable and just having the internet, because we always,
because you're millennials.
With hockey,
that's what we do.
I watch hockey, I watch golf live on TV, which I can find elsewhere, like streaming wise, I called them Xfinity, Comcast, I think. Yeah, Xfinity, to cancel my cable.
What were they saying?
It was more expensive for my internet if I canceled my cable. So the combined package is less expensive than just the internet.
You should work for Comcast, because this is what they tell me on the phone. Oh, we can give you digital voice and TV and cable and a new car and all this stuff, and it'll be cheaper than your...
Yeah. I have voice, and I told them not to ship me the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, don't ship me the phone. I don't have a phone jack.
It would be tight to have a landline, though. Just to have.
Maybe.
For telemarketers. I got a call today, and it said political call. Like the iPhone said, instead of like spam risk or whatever, or the phone number itself, it said political call. It's like, dang, you guys are getting savvy. Like,
did you answer?
No. Jinx. But no, I am trying to be cost conscious in how much I'm spending, and for that reason, I'm out. This isn't Shark Tank. For that reason, I have not purchased a cup of coffee from a coffee shop since February. And that's not an exaggeration. I have been, because man, like I mentioned on a past episode, like I was going to coffee shops all the time, like to work for a couple hours a day here or there. And here in these sweet, like boutique coffee shops here in Nashville, which they're all really good and they serve great coffee, but like you're spending like $8 on a cup of coffee, and who only drinks one? So you're getting 2. And then you're going to stay long enough that you're going to want a snack. And so before long, you're creeping up near $30.
For sure. With tip and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah. So you're creeping up near $30 once or twice a week. you do that math on the year, it's a lot of coin.
Yeah.
It's a lot of coin. And so I took it upon myself to develop this wonderful cold brew. It's beautiful. And I went through some testing. I went through some mad testing. I had like beakers and flasks and vials and a little chemistry setup. I did. That'd be sweet though. Little glass coil condenser and lab coat. No, I didn't. But I did consult with a good friend of mine who is like just an absolute expert, Amy Daig. She's the roast master, I believe, at Espresso Elevato. Yeah. Espresso Elevato in Plymouth, Michigan. Dude. She's great. She said, Drew, you know what the secret is? It's a 24-hour steep. You need to steep for 24 hours if you're doing cold brew. I said, huh? Okay. Because that's not what I've been reading. 12 to 16 is what everybody says. But yeah, this stuff is so good. So I'm saying the stuff that I'm making at home, I just do Starbucks Pike Placed grounds. Steep it for 24. Highly concentrated. Might dilute it with a little bit of water when I'm actually serving up the cold brew itself. Dash of Italian sweet cream, Kroger brand.
Yeah.
And here we go. 3 cups of that per day, please.
Dude, there's a little bit of a pride thing when you're able to dial in a cold brew or a coffee that you like, as opposed to going and paying $8. Mm-hmm. You know, even if like you've invested all of this time and energy and money into the coffee itself, like having that dialed in, like this is what I know I can wake up to tomorrow morning.
Yep.
For, I guess, no cost, you know?
Yeah.
Like you've invested in the coffee and all the stuff, but like you're not paying for the coffee.
Yeah, time. Absolutely. No, and it's not the best cup of cold brew in the city, for sure. I know that, but the value and the cost effectiveness.
And you like it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Like I go to bed, like I can't wait, like thinking this to myself while I'm rubbing my feet together. I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow morning. Just have that beautiful cup of cold brew.
Yeah, dude.
Want to know a confession? This is a secret I haven't told anyone. I don't brush my teeth in the morning until after I have that cup.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. That's okay.
Judge
Maybe
me.
That's normal.
Judge
I'm
me.
Not judging,
No. I dare anyone listening to this to judge me on that. It sounds gross, but it's not like I'm not interfacing with anybody, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's just me. Like
some people like to wake up, have breakfast, and then shower, brush their teeth.
Is that what you do?
No.
Come on.
The second I wake up, I'm in the shower.
Oh, fair.
Within 25 seconds.
I love your shower. Remember when I took a shower there on Thanksgiving?
Yep.
You remember that?
I do. You brought your gym bag?
I did. Here's the story about that. On Thanksgiving, I had my brother, his wife, Heather, and my 2 nephews. So a family of 4 come stay with me at my house previous to this house, and it was tiny. 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. Probably like 700 square feet, and that's not an exaggeration. It was tiny. And woke up on Thanksgiving morning, because they're a family with kids, so they wake up at like 5 a.m. They're like eating their second meal of the day by like 10:30 a.m. So I wake up in the morning, they've already been active, and Greg and I step out of my bedroom going like this. And my brother Greg's like, "Hey, good morning, Drew. Hey, man, I clogged your toilet, so I kind of flooded the bathroom a little bit. It's no problem. If I could just get your car keys, I'm just going to go up to the store and buy a plunger." I didn't have a plunger. And I was like, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. And so I texted Jordan. I was like, Jordan, I've got an emergency. I need to shower, and my bathroom's flooded because my brother. I've lived in that house for like 6 months prior to them coming to town. Never had an issue with the toilet. I'm putting my brother on blast now. He's going to be ticked off. I'm sorry, Greg. Honestly, it could have happened to anybody, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably just the wrong person, the right person at the right time, whatever.
Yeah.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Talk about the wrong place
at the wrong time. That's Dumb and Dumber, right?
Yeah.
When he's eating that's when they put the chilies on his...
Yeah.
So anyway, I came over to your house. That shower was awesome.
It's a good shower, man.
I needed that time too.
Yeah, it's a good shower.
Drop my little agenda. I wanted to talk about that. But I've been getting frugal when it comes to the coffee stuff and, trying to cut my cable bill all over. Like, I'm just trying to be fiscally conservative, financially. Not fiscally. I'm fine with that. I learned that frugality, frugalness, from my grandma. She actually taught me the word frugal. She's got an exceptional vocabulary. But in addition to the vocabulary, she's also very actually frugal. She's cheap in real life. And I lived with my grandma for about 10 months back in, I think it was 2014, before I purchased my first home. I lived with her because she lived right by my office where I was working, and she let me live there rent-free, just pay her electric bill, which was like $40 a month.
Dude, that's sick.
Because, again, she's frugal and really keeps things tight. So I remembered this story that I wanted to share. So while I was living there, my cousin David graduated from Eastern Michigan University, actually where I went as well. He had a degree in like IT, information technology, systems, networking. Nerd. But he, David, if you're listening, you're a star, man. You actually are a star, and I admire you in a lot of ways. I was about to say, but not in that one. For some reason. Why do I need to end on a roast? I'm just kidding. That's a great degree. You make more money than I do, I'm sure. So he had a graduation party. My grandma threw it for him. She's like, sure, I'll have it catered and everything. She had meatballs and chicken breasts and biscuits, and that was probably it. Some Bill Knapp's chocolate cake. She still buys for every birthday. She gets Bill Knapp's chocolate cake, which that's a restaurant chain. I don't know if that was a nationwide restaurant chain, but it was specifically for old people.
Sure.
Do you remember going there ever?
Yeah, it was like different. It was the comparable Denny's, right? Like it was like Denny's, but just a little.
It was
worse.
a little. No, I thought it was classed up a bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I used to get their house sirloin. Would go there with my my grandpa when I got good, like for grades, report card dinner. Be like, dude, Bill Knapp's is one of the places I would go for report card dinners. You know what was also? I want to get back to the Bill Knapp's chocolate cake, but you know what also was like for special occasions in my family. You know where we would go? Red Lobster.
Really?
That was like the place.
No kidding.
We didn't know about Prime Steakhouses or even like J. Alexander's or anything like this. It was like, we're pack up the Windstar. We're heading to Red Lobster, Cheddar Bay biscuits all day. Let's go.
Dude, yeah. I
used to think that was like the pinnacle of class and like
Andy's mints.
Yeah, with the check.
Yeah.
And it still slams. I mean, I've been to Red Lobster in recent day, like in the past year or two. Still great. The Cheddar Bay biscuits will not be touched by Olive Garden, by...
I agree.
I think like Texas Roadhouse or something like this has like Logan's Roadhouse. They have like that bread. None of the free bread can touch the Cheddar Bay biscuit.
It's good.
And I'll take that. That will stay with me for the rest of my life. I will never be swayed from that.
Yeah, it's good. So
my grandma got the chocolate cake and everything for my cousin David's graduation party. Cool. Have a runny nose for no reason. This is sweet. But I'm good now. For cousin David's graduation party. And so I'm living with her at this time, and I get home from work, so let me fast forward. Several months pass, and I get home from work one day. Say 4 months pass. I'm like, Grandma, why is there a hammer and chisel on the kitchen counter when I got home from work? She's like, oh, Andrew, you remember David's graduation party back in, say, May? Yeah, I do. She's like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if you've noticed in the freezer, but I still have that bag of meatballs left over from the graduation party, and every day for lunch and dinner, I'll just chisel off 3 or 4 meatballs, and that's how I've been living for the past 4 months.
Aw, dude.
So Grandma lived off frozen meatballs for quite a while.
With a hammer and a chisel.
With a hammer and a chisel. Could you just picture like an older lady doing that? Just like pulling out a bag of, and then just like Da Vinci, just sculpting, shaving off a couple.
She's got a tool pouch that she wears around her waist. Time for lunch.
Have you ever seen somebody who like is sculpting ice, for example? All the shavings and everything. That's what I'm picturing as she's
just meat flying by her ear.
Has like drills and like wearing like a full apron and goggles and stuff.
Just for lunch.
Just for lunch. And then she still has to do it at dinner time too. But yeah, I mean, she like, for example, her frugality extends to this as well. Like, I remember her telling me one time, I forgot what we were talking about, but I remember her saying it, like, yeah, for both the upstairs stairs and the basement stairs, there's 12 steps per staircase. I'm like, do you know how many stairs are in your house, for example?
17.
Okay, well, it's not for the same reason that my grandma knows, and I'll tell you why. She knows because if she wakes up in the middle of the night, rather than turning on a light bulb and using some energy, which is going to cost maybe 1 cent, she just counts the steps, walks down, holds the rail, and just counts the steps. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'm on the ground now. And I can just operate whatever my errand was, like downstairs or whatever.
In the dark.
Errand to get a glass of water or something or whatever. Go to the bathroom. I don't know. Oh, this is a good one. This is a great one, in fact. So years ago, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, 7 years ago, when my grandpa passed away, at his funeral, and Jordan, actually, you were there and you stopped through, and we'll touch on that as well. And I can't wait to, actually, because I was crying with laughter. But at the funeral, we're in kind of like this family holding room. It's almost like a green room, like we were a band and we were about to go out on stage and just smash a set. Just good night. We've been the Stoutenberg/Demarest. That's so dumb.
It's on Planning Center.
Yes. So anyway, we're in this like family, I don't know, welcome room, hospitality room. And my mom's like, hey, Drew, will you just put out the food here? She gives me all the stuff, plasticware, food, napkins, whatever. And I'm like, sure thing. Sure. And I said, sure, Mom. I said, sure. And I noticed as I'm unpacking all this stuff, I'm like, why does the plasticware bag, that's the bag that all the plasticware is in, why is the corner cut off and like scotch taped? I'm like, that's interesting, Mom. Do you know why? She's like, no, I don't know. I was like, okay. So I, put it all out. And then later on, I start getting hungry. So I'm going around grabbing a couple deli meats, grabbing some cheese cubes, all these kinds of things. And I pick up a fork to, administer food into my mouth. Why phrase it that way? And as I'm doing that, I take a bite and I pull the fork out and I'm like, why is there dried chocolate icing on this? That's interesting. It was interesting. I'm like, Mom, who brought the plasticware? She's like, yeah, I think your grandma did. I was like, boom, here we go. So I confront Grandma on it. Turns out that's plasticware that's been used before that she washed. And I am willing to bet that chocolate frosting on that fork was Bill Knapp's chocolate cake frosting. I'm convinced. I actually think that. Would it be that far off? No, given her track record of frugality.
So she didn't get the meatball fork.
That's true. It's kind of a savory bite. That was interesting. So at that funeral, unrelated to Grandma, Jordan and one of our very best friends, Joel, came to support me and the family. It was really nice, and I'll never forget that. So thanks again. Tough day, but we were able to laugh, which we always laugh when we're together. But this time we laughed for unforeseen reasons. So they come to see me, and they're going to go golfing after, but they're in nice suits. They look dapper as heck. Joel comes in, and I'm like, Joel, thank you so much for being here, bro. I just appreciate it. He's like, yeah, we really wanted to be here for you and the family, and yeah, sorry for your loss. No, it's no problem. Grandpa had a good life. Okay, cool. So we catch up. Jordan, hey, man, good to see you. Pop, pop, pop. Do the 3 little pats. And I'm like, hey, man, thank you so much. Why do you smell like gas? He's like, oh, yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't notice, but I was at the gas station earlier filling up the truck, and the shutoff valve on the handle, it didn't work, so the gas exploded on me. Well, it didn't combust, but it flew out and covered him in a suit.
Yeah. It was
in a nice suit, in actual gasoline.
Joel, 1 second, man. I just have to stop and get some gas real quick. Dude, I get it. It just literally splashed onto my suit.
So was it that? It was that, right? So it was filling up and it didn't shut off. Yeah. Didn't do the little handle pop out.
Right.
And so it just...
Instead, I was just standing there looking off in the distance when I felt a wave of gasoline.
I wonder how Drew's doing, man. Suddenly just...
Man, it's such a sad day. Onto my knee.
Oh. So Jordan comes to the funeral soaked in gasoline, but bless his heart. I mean, just a sweet, sweet guy. He's still going to be there, so that still went a long way with me too. But then throughout the course of the afternoon, I'm watching Jordan talk with voice crack, but talk with family members and meet family members, and I can see them from afar. I'm watching their dialogue, and I can see the moment that all of them are "Yeah, nice to meet you, Joe." In their mind, the commentary is "Why does this dude smell like gas?"
Dude, I was walking around very strategically trying to avoid candles and stuff.
Avoid any open flames.
Jordan walks by the candle and burst into flame.
67 people are dead at a funeral after spontaneous combustion of a... Yeah, no, but we were... I remember when you came, dude, we were crying. Which I needed that day, quite frankly. It was a sad day. But again, Grandpa had a full life, My grandma, she's my only living grandparent, she's even had a full life, So it'll be really sad someday when she does, go transfer into eternity, I guess. But even so, I love her and her frugality, and she's great. Love our seniors, like we said in episode 3.
Yep.
Jordan, what are your grandparents' names? Do you know offhand?
Arbadella.
What?
Mom's mom.
What's the ethnic origin of that name? Do you know?
Wish I knew.
Yeah.
I'm not good with that, man.
No. Okay. Well, maybe she was Italian or something, and yeah, it's an Italian traditional.
Arbadella.
Arbadella.
And then dad's side is Ernie and Joanne.
Word. Those are your 3 living grandparents?
Yeah.
Must be nice, bro.
Isn't that nice?
You're a little younger than me, though, so it makes sense that you have more living grandparents. 2 years younger.
I've known 2 for a combined 4 years, so.
Well, thank goodness for family reconciliation and stuff, Both my grandmothers are named Pat, so that's cool. Good ladies.
Really?
Actual, yeah.
Patricia?
Patricia's, yeah.
No kidding.
Patricia de Blasi and Patricia Bringard. Bringard's in heaven. De Blasi, she remarried to William de Blasi, but she was Demarest, so that's my mom's maiden name. Cool info. Speaking of my mom, when I was growing up, I realized this the other day. I was never made to wear a bike helmet. I never wore a bike helmet. I noticed this recently that I was thinking about this. Okay, if I, seeing families out and about, I have a really young neighborhood, a lot of young families and stuff, and I see families out for bike rides and stuff, and when I see kids wearing helmets, I'm yeah, of course. If I had kids today, I'd be strap the helmet on, and then you can go ride.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I realized the other day, when I was a kid, I didn't even own a bike helmet. Did you? Did you ever, or were you required to wear helmets or anything?
So no, I wasn't required to wear one. I had one. I was an active skateboarder. So if I went to a skate park or something and they required it, had to have one.
Vans.
Yeah.
Vans skate park.
Vans, modern, Livonia skate park.
Respect.
All these, you had to have one. But
rightfully so.
Other than that, I never wore it. Now with Jude getting on his tricycle or a scooter,
yeah,
I'm Jude, you better put your helmet on.
Get the wrist guards, the elbow pads, the knee. That's what I'm thinking.
We also live in a society now where if you don't have that stuff, you're judged.
You're heavily
by other
judged.
Parents,
True. Yeah.
So that probably plays into it as well. But
I remember learning how to ride a bike. I remember that moment where I was starting to I just realized I don't have training wheels on this, and I am sustaining this. I'm good,
Yeah.
And didn't have a helmet. Was probably 5. Does 5 sound about right for that?
Yeah, 5 is right.
5? For no training wheels or anything?
Yeah, I would say 5.
I was actually at Chris Hanstead's house. Shout out Chris.
We love him, man. We love him.
He subscribes to the podcast. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, but kind of just like that rogue. Well, if you fall and scrape your knee, if you fall and hit your head, you'll be fine. You know, that's like family culture. That's Stoutenburg family culture. You know.
Yeah.
Another Stoutenburg family culture thing is like this pride in being really good at driving, like being good at driving and priding yourself in getting somewhere like safely and comfortably, and you know, never having to touch the brake. That's a big thing. Like road trips, for example, maximum efficiency and comfort. And if you deviate from that, though, in the Stoutenburg family, Dad's going to be pissed.
Sure.
If we're going up north and if we're taking a 4-hour road trip and you want to stop twice, it's going to be a problem.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like some of that has been ingrained into me.
Oh,
for
sure.
no reason.
Yeah.
Like when I drive to Michigan, it's an 8-hour drive, right? When I drive to Michigan from Nashville, 8-hour drive, and I feel for some reason like I need to shave off a half hour off of the ETA, even if I have no reason, like I have nothing to do there.
It's a game, man.
It's a game. And it's maddening too. Like I'll be driving, and if I see a minute get added onto the ETA, I'm mad.
Sure.
And I'm stepping on the gas.
Yeah.
Even though I cruise usually at like 78, because I came to the realization that if you're taking a road trip, there's no difference in 78 versus 82 or 85. You know, like there is some difference, but ultimately it's going to be the risk of getting a ticket for $100 or $200 isn't worth getting there 10 minutes ahead of time, for example.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a Midwest thing or if it's just like a baby boomer thing, like that our parents' generation really like stuck to their like pride on being awesome at driving, or if it's a Detroit area thing because we're the Motor City, birthplace of
Do you think it could
innovation.
be like an alpha male thing too?
Yeah,
like,
true.
Do you think that like maybe women just don't care, but maybe like if I'm here's the thing.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
We used to take a summer trip every year from Michigan to Texas. My dad would not stop.
What is that? I'm going to guess 22 hours?
Yeah, I think it's like 21 hours.
Is it actually?
Detroit to Dallas.
That was a total shot from the hip, and that feels good.
So, like, if you're looking at it like that, like, I mean, dude, you're driving for,
a full day.
21 seems actually, I thought it was 21, but it might be like in the 16, 17 range, actually.
Okay, fair.
To think of it. But no stopping.
Why?
With the exception of, obviously,
the
gas.
Bathroom gas, whatever.
Yeah, but, I don't know.
Yeah.
When I go from when I go from Nashville to Michigan, I'm stopping after the Bridge of Cincinnati, and that's what it's called.
I believe I've seen that painted on the side.
Getting gas.
It's like a photo op. They have a photo pull off. Like
Bridge of Cincinnati.
Take a photo near the Bridge of Cincinnati. TM. Stupid.
That's so stupid. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
it's just a matter of wanting to get it over with as soon as possible. You know that maybe that's a part of it too. But even so, I don't need to be breaking my back or safety or getting a freaking kidney stone from not going to the bathroom. You know,
almost like you want to impress the person on the other side. You got here so quick.
Yeah.
So
I always do that though. I do remember like when I'm leaving the driveway, I always remember like, okay, I just pulled out of the driveway at 8:49 a.m. and that's going to be my benchmark from there. And then when I pull into my mom's house, I'll be like, yeah, Mom, I actually got here. I shaved off about 22 minutes. So she's like, cool, glad you're here. That's it,
It's like, wow, Knapp's cake?
Yeah. That's a Bill Knapp's cake and some frozen meatballs. Your grandma's actually over here. Brought dinner. Grandma's like, Andrew, you remember David's graduation party from 6 years ago? Anyway, that's all I got for you today, guys. But thank you for listening and for watching. Listen, if you like what we're doing here and you like these podcasts and you think family or friends might also like it, please share in whatever means you feel appropriate, whether it's text or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. But as always, thank you for listening to the Stouting Off podcast, where we spout off commentary on the everyday. See ya. Last but not least, you guys got to check out Dickies when you get a chance.